Alright, this is a 2004 Honda Accord LX 4-cylinder 2.4 liter engine. I am going to replace the brakes, the rotor, and the caliper. So it's actually easier when you replace the caliper because everything's coming off. It's not bad. It wasn't in bad shape, but it's got to come off. So basically, you have two bolts you got to take off of here. Let me pull this around here. You got this bolt here. Not really on the caliper, but just to put the brakes on, you need to take this one off. And you got this one down in here. So this bottom one here, the 17mm socket, and the top one here for the brake line is going to be a 14mm and a 12mm for here. Alright, the rotors wasn't bad, but I'm replacing these. So these two got to come out, these two screws here. I use a socket bit type deal for that. One of these guys here. Put that right in there. They got to come out, and the rotor comes off after the caliper comes out. So this shouldn't be long. Let's get started. One on the top and one on the bottom, same location. Once this comes off, the whole caliper should come off. When the caliper comes off, since I'm putting a new caliper on, I'm not really concerned about the brakes or anything. Got two bolts here. These two bolts. And I'm going to just sit this on the side for now until I get the new caliper ready to go. I'm going to just sit this up here. I don't want it to hang. They could ruin the cable. I'm sorry, the hose here, the brake hose. So I'm going to just sit this right in here. We're going to take this set here, undo the rotor. They don't come out this easy sometimes. I kind of cheated a little bit and loosened them up off camera just to save some time. Got these screws here. I always put a little bit of grease on there when I put it back so it's not as hard for the next guy to get it off. Some anti-seize. They're always kind of rusty, but they got to come out. They kind of hold it in. This guy just comes right off. It's a little tight. Hit it with the hammer. Out with the old. Before I put it back on, I always clean up around here so it doesn't get seized on there. Just clean it up real good with the wire brush. The surface rust doesn't matter, but it's just a little bit of helps it come off a little easier. Once again, for the next guy, take the new one. Let's keep in mind where the bolts is at. Slide that one right on there. see if that matched up perfectly. Seems kind of tight. Make sure they gave me the right one. Looks pretty good. Sometimes it's dirt around here that makes that seize up a little bit. Put a little bit of grease around this edge here. Just on the edge where it was hanging up at. So it doesn't stick. It's the stuff I use all the time. I'm trying to get it on there now. It should just go right on. I don't know why I was misbehaving. Let me give it a little tap. Should not be that hard to get on there. Seems smooth. Something ain't right.
Hello.
Hey.
You changing brake?
Alright, I got that caliper on there. I'm sorry, the rotor on there. It took some time. I don't know why AutoZone is just kind of rough. So what I did was put a little bit of grease on these two screws and then put this back in place on the rotor here. Let's just put those back. I use my socket bit attachment here. Snug them down so they get tight. I know I'm supposed to have that caliper not hanging on that hose like that, but I gotta, don't blast me on that. Alright, get those down there. Now what I'm gonna do is just hang this on the side right here. Hang that on the side right there. Take the new caliper here, the new caliper, and put it on there. Right back here. Take these bolts. One goes in the back here. You gotta line it up. It pops up like that. You can see it basically where it has to go at right here. One here, one down here. Basically just put those back in, tighten them up. Real good. Sockets always seem to get away from me, roll places or something. I can't find the socket. had the socket. The socket for that just walked away. Huh. Socket for these two here. These two bolts here. What was it, 12 millimeter? I think it didn't want to work today, so it called out sick halfway through the job and walked away because, there we go. Socket here. Tighten that up back here. Tighten it up real good. Okay. Now you want to clean that rotor up. Sorry. Clean that rotor up real good. Clean it up real good with the spray. All the grease off of it. Front and back. It's all the grease from touching it and all the grease from the spray they put on there to keep it from rusting when it's new. Look at front and back. Alright, we got this shim kit, and these shims go in here to where the brakes rod at. I always put a little bit of grease in here so the brakes can ride on that. You stick that right on there like that and push it down on there. The other one goes on top. Same with that, just put a little bit on there just so the brakes don't squeak. Just a little, and you gotta do a lot because the more you put, collects dirt. It just pops right up on there like that. Just like that. Make sure it's not rubbing down in here. It's not rubbing. Okay, that's that. Now, you got two brakes here. You got one goes in here, but it's going to be look the same, but they're different. This one with the brake sensor goes up top, so that just pops in there just like that. It goes in there. You can either do top or the bottom first. The other one goes like that. Just pops in there. And that's that. Now this, you could put a little bit of grease on here too to kind of keep it from squeaking. Just a little bit. I like to put it in there. And bring this down. That. Tighten it up a little bit. the other one in down here. Tighten it up a little bit. That's a brake and caliper system on there. So now I left the caliper for last because what I'm going to do is take this off here. Take the bolt for this off. This little plug comes out of the back here. The plug comes out and give you a new bolt. So get rid of that old one, put the new one in. I waited for last to do that because all the brake fluid, some brake fluid is going to run out. You got to bleed the brakes too, but so I have to get it ready first. So we got the 2 washers. You can see that or not. 2 washers and a bolt. So 1 washer goes on first, like that. 1 washer goes on there. Take this off of here. Kind of be ready because it's going fluid going to come out of it. Probably should have kept it bolted on there first, but I didn't. Unscrew it, get rid of it. You're not going to use this bolt and washer over again. I'm going to put a new bolt and washer on here. Make sure the old washer is in your hand. Okay. You're going to take this piece, stick it in here. And you're going to take this end, put that in there, that, and you're going to put this right in there. Screw that in there. Yep, that's a little smaller. Tighten that up. Put that on there. Okay. So at this point, we're all done. Got the old caliper off. Got to bleed the brakes, of course. And we can tighten down this now. Tighten down the caliper. Tighten. So we're gonna tighten this part down now. Let's tighten that. And that's it. It's a good practice to kind of clean this up really good, so you can tell if any brake fluid is leaking out. Once you bleed the brakes, you can tell if any brake fluid is leaking out, because that'll get wet again. Get it nice and dry so you'll know there's no leaks. This didn't come with a cap, but I can use the old cap for here. So next you just got to bleed the brakes. Tube and wrench, stick it on here, open it up, let the fluid out. And that's it. Once you step on the brakes, this will tighten up and that'll be that. So then you got new caliper, new brakes, new rotor.